What's good, everybody? It's your boy Armor Regime. We here at Breezeways Lounge for the Bars Talk. Make some noise, everybody. Listen, we got some amazing guests in the building, but we're gonna let everybody introduce themselves. I'm Army Regime, 2 fingers twist for the R. If you don't know,
I go by the name of Jet Lag Trizzy, getting busy.
I go by the name of Highlight, just a vibe you gonna catch.
King Rico, that nigga with the Chico, you know the vibes. Come on now.
Yo, it's your boy Cash Sinatra. We here, let's go.
Yo, Smith in the building, let's play. You know the vibe.
Yeah. So we got our two brothers here, Cash Sinatra, and this is Wordsmiff. Guys, y'all are in for an amazing episode. I personally honor these guys as people, as artists, as musicians, and we just gonna have a good time tonight, man. So I just want to jump right into it. First of all, today is a holiday. Let me tell you why today is a holiday. Because y'all are at the BarsTalk, and we got two options for you. We got Vodka for you, the Vodka Keela, or we got 100 Reserve. And it's called 100 Reserve because we know they took 400 years from us, and we gonna give you your first 100 back, my nigga. So what you want? What y'all want?
That slave talk is my shit, man.
We going in.
He on the right path.
You want reparations? Can the brother get some ice? If you want your first 100 years back, pass your cup to this side. If you want the Vodka Killer, put your cup on that side, and we're gonna make sure you're right. But while we doing this, Wordsmiff can just tell the people who you are musically. We'll get to your background, but tell them who you are musically. Yeah, let's go.
Yo, just one of the dopest niggas with the pen, man. I don't even know what else to say besides that. Like, let me hear something is the hashtag, and that's SUHM. So I mean, you go see for yourself. I'm just, I get busy.
There you go, word.
That's a fact, and I'm a part of episode 4, right? I'm on episode 4. Episode 4.
We went hold on. That's like one of the most popular episodes, like to date. Like right now, those numbers are still going up on the Army episode because like
it was
different.
It was different.
Y'all was talking that talk?
Oh, what? I still remember. We might do that shit later. Now, Cash Sinatra, can you let the people know who you are?
Musically.
Yeah.
Okay, Cash Sinatra, smooth brother, you feel me? I mean, I really just talk my life, and I really talk whatever is like going on today, and I just like to inform my people, and outside of that, I make great music, simply like that.
Now, I've been personally following these two brothers for some years now.
Right.
Wordsmiff, I met through Wong Toon. Shout out to Wong Regime. We here.
Yeah.
Cash Sinatra, I actually learned who you was through Wordsmiff because he wears y'all merch. And I thought he was actually a part of the Louder camp.
I am in my heart. Like they didn't
that's crazy. I learned about a whole nother camp
Oh
because of somebody that's not even a part of it. So can you give us a little background on the Louder movement? How's it going? Or how's it been? Or you know?
Okay, so the Louder movement is a few guys we met in high school. You feel me? We went to Mount Van Buren in Queens, and we met in high school. You feel me? But like after high school, we came together, and me and Flo, we started making music.
Shout out to Flo, that's my guy.
Yeah, shout out to Flo. You feel me? We linked up. We started making music together, and then like we met Conflict, and like we knew him from high school, but we wasn't really together like that. So we met him through music basically, and we came together with Conflict. And I had my guys Rel. He's my best friend. He's like CEO Rel. You feel me? So it's really just a bunch of friends from high school that really just brought their talents together. You feel me? Like a force. And right now we working on some shit. We rebranding a lot. We doing some shit to rebrand. You feel me? And so we about to introduce a lot of different things, a lot of new things. You feel me?
Amazing.
What?
Amazing. That's what's up. Now, how did you get in tune with the Louder camp?
I'm just a student of the game, so it's like I look for like the best niggas. Like, and at the time I was looking for the best niggas in the city because I just wanted to see if niggas say I'm nice, I gotta see who the competition is. And listening to them, like I'm not a nigga that hate. You feel what I'm saying? If a nigga nice, I'm gonna tell you nice. And Cash Sinatra was one of the few I came across that I had to just show and pay my respects to just as an artist.
But like, what made him nice though? Like, what made him kind of?
Question.
Yeah, like, what made you vibe?
He told that talk or he talk it?
It's kind of like I'm gonna tell you like this. Like we all seen The Last Dragon, right?
Yeah.
You know when you got the glow, you see the glow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I saw that off him, off Ray. Like, so it was like once I got in tune with him, then it was like I'm gonna listen to whoever he fuck with. So it's like sometimes we see higher artists differently than we see our peers. You get what I'm saying? So it's like you'll get into Schoolboy, then you'll listen to Ab-Soul. I feel like that with Louder. It was like getting into Kendrick, then getting into Schoolboy or Ab-Soul. J-Rod. Because he got flow, he got conflict, and they all do different things, but they're really good at what they do. So I became a fan of them.
I like that.
Yeah, I've seen y'all live, bro.
Yeah,
I saw y'all live.
yeah.
You know, coming from another camp, you know, we see regime. We don't like see people as competition, but friendly competition. Like we always see that. So like we used to be at shows and like, yo, look at these other groups. Look how they chemistry flow. Look how in unison they are. People wore the same clothes. We always admired that. You know what I mean?
Being like a model, you feel me? Like just like showing love. I mean the group to group vibe. You feel me? Like that just definitely showed us. You feel me?
Yeah.
Now, highlight. I know you come in contact with these two artists, either closely or from a distance.
Yeah.
What do you know about these two gentlemen right here?
I'm not even gonna hold you. I met Wordsmiff through Army. I honestly forgot what show. We done did so many. You feel what I'm saying? I forgot what show it specifically was that we met. You feel what I'm saying? But when I'm like the glow he was just talking about. You know when you see that glow, it's just like, nah, he gotta be nice. I never heard him spit, cause when I met him, Army was rapping. You feel what I'm saying? So I never heard him spit yet, nothing. Army introduced us. We just linked. Everything was just like on point or on cue. You feel what I'm saying? Now, Cash, this is my first time physically meeting him. I always seen him through the internet from like damn near like 2013, 2014, like real shit. Like, cause like he said, he's a student of the game, so he used to study a lot and all of that. I used to study from my phone. I was a IG Twitter head. You know what I'm saying? I was a fanatic for that shit. So I seen him bid freestyles or whatever the case may be. Then I seen Cash and Army link up. I've been with Army from like 2010, linked through Trizzy and shit like that. Everything just made sense. You feel what I'm saying? So I just respect the game, like you feel what I'm saying. Respect. I'm a person that respect pen. Like once you nice,
word.
Hey yo, you nice, bro. You nice. I can match it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of niggas don't like to say other niggas is nice. You feel what I'm saying? You feel me? One thing I do. One thing I don't do, I don't say niggas is trash, because I used to be trash. You know what I'm saying?
I try not to say that. I just say they need work.
I say that shit.
You see?
You gotta be honest. You gotta be honest.
I say niggas is trash, you ain't gonna hold it.
Real shit. They are. I'm just trying to be nice.
I say it to myself. I don't ever tell a person like, yo, bro, pack it up.
Oh, no.
Like, you
It
know what I'm
depends.
saying?
Like, if he say something to me, I'm gonna tell cuz, like, bro.
Yeah, that's how I'm saying, of
ship
course.
you to Bermuda, bro. Like,
They're trying
first
to,
class,
you
bro.
feel me?
You're not coming back from this bag.
Nah,
it's over.
You know what? It's always about positive reinforcement.
You feel
I
me?
mean, so like even if someone is like not as dope, like you just gotta tell them like, yo, you could do this and that a little bit better. You feel me? Like,
it's 2020. I
got a question.
skeptical about doing that too now, cause niggas be in their feelings.
Yeah, but fuck all that feeling shit. Alright, so we're gonna start with Rico, right? How do you give somebody that's not good constructive criticism? Like, alright, so a nigga come up to you, yo, I can rap for you. Alright, so hickory dickory dock, you know what I mean? Like they go through their nursery shit, or they do that song flow, and it's not really connected. You know what I mean? This your first impression. What do you tell them, Rico?
I mean,
And we'll go around.
I personally go straight to it, and you have to be honest. You got to point out, but you can't. All right, hold on.
Alright, wait, I'm gonna make it difficult. Your mans. This your mans.
I've
This
had
nigga
this
in your
situation.
circle.
I had
This
this
nigga wanna rap now, and he your mans. And he wanna rap now.
I've had this situation, and it turned out bad, and I'm gonna tell you how to go about it now that I've been through the situation. Right? Gave the person positive reinforcement. Like, you know what? I just feel like this song could have been. It could have been, mixed a little better, max. The person took it as okay because I do music and I have music out and I'm doing things. The way that I'm coming to him, I feel like I'm better than him. And he took it a bad way, like, oh nah, you just trying to talk down on me. All I was telling him was, honestly, it could be mixed better. Your vocals could sound way better. Took it bad.
That's crazy.
So from now on, I'm just going to say.
What about you, Cash?
I be honest, but I don't ever tell them you trash enough. And like if it's my people or whatever, like sometimes I say it's not for me. Shit like that.
That's a good
That shit hurt too though.
It's not
Nigga, The not for me hurts, bro. The not for me.
I'm not saying about jacking that.
I played
I'm
it
not
for you,
gonna-
nigga. But like,
it's-
what do you mean it's not for you?
I
I played it for you. Like, what do you mean? Like,
Like somebody might like it, but like
Yeah,
it's not
yeah,
for me.
yeah.
Or
I won't go.
or I give them constructive criticism, like yo, I feel like your flow could have been like this, or I feel like you could have used this better. Like I really say that, but I'm not gonna say it's bad. You feel me? I'm gonna tell you how you can improve it. You feel me?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But how do you maneuver around the people that take it back and like they
They gotta eat.
now
that.
it's like all right.
It's on you, bro.
That's
I
it.
hope you hungry. Here's a meal.
We over 25. You gotta take that on the chin.
that's it.
What do you think?
to be honest with you, man, I just be real rap with them. Like, it just don't work. You feel me?
Nah,
Like,
he's gonna tell you because he told me.
it just don't work. Like, cause as an artist, like, you just gotta be able to accept it. You feel me? Like, knowing that if you bring in your art to someone, like, you respect their thoughts and their outlook. So they should definitely be honest.
Yeah, that's a fact.
For me, man, like I stay true to who I am. I'm blunt and I'm honest, and I also have like a pretty cool personality. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I write for people. So if they'll be like, "Yo, I want you to come in, help me with this track," I'll come in, help them with the track, sit there, and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's not it, bro." You know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna take this off.
We just gonna put that in the
Yeah,
universe
we're
and
gonna-
ignore that.
Yeah.
That you write for people.
What do you mean?
Like niggas don't.
Like,
Like,
it's not an everyday thing. You need to
yeah,
song.
the nigga just say, "Yeah, I write for people."
Yeah, I write
Like,
for
we
niggas.
don't just.
But
That's amazing. Like,
not really.
now you gotta get into they world to be able to
That's
write
a
for them.
fact.
But that's easy.
Absolutely.
People can't write for themselves.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
me.
They struggle to write for
That's true.
themselves.
But the thing is,
Right, that's right.
that's because a lot of people can't see themselves from the outside looking in. Like I step outside of myself to look at myself.
Because you're
But
in
I
tune
also-
with yourself.
But I also observe the world at that same lens. You get what I'm saying? So I'm able to say, okay, I know what your perspective is in this writing because I already can pretty much look at you, study you, and then pinpoint how you going, how you operate.
Yeah.
Things you probably have been through, and kind of write that.
So that means you're a good judge of character.
Yeah, pretty much.
Gotta be.
I'm saying like.
Cause you know a lot of rappers too. You know a lot of rappers.
Alright, so it's a difference with me with like my mans and then people I don't know. Like I done met mad people at shows and shit, and they be no disrespect, they be trash. Like you feel me? No stage performance, no like they not clear with the words.
I be
The
hating
track,
them shows.
songs be trash.
I hate those
They
shows.
take too long on stage doing nothing basically. You feel me? But when they get off, I be like, yo, good shit, bro, cause you got the heart to go up there and do what you just did. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So. That I always give good constructive criticism or I just get good vibes.
That's facts.
My man's now,
Yeah.
it depends on how long I know him. As far as like when he pick up the pen and shit,
Yeah.
automatically if his shit is trash, bro, UPS is hiring, like real shit. Like,
They are though. So guys, if you need a
I'm
job,
that
please.
type of nigga. Like you said, I keep it blunt, like
Yeah.
straight. I'm cutthroat, like you know what I'm
Because
saying.
it's not enough room for everybody, bro.
There you go, like, don't
As
be mad.
much as people want to
Like,
believe that there is,
It's not
there
enough
is
room.
not enough
The
space.
reason why the game is where it's at is
It's
because we
oversaturated.
made too much room for everybody.
It's
Yeah, we
oversaturated
accepted
now.
everybody
Yeah,
too.
like
Come
nah,
on.
we got
Inclusive and shit.
No, bro.
Yeah.
You know, no
Yeah,
parts
now
of
we
the
gotta
group
start
are
like
all inclusive.
exile. It's like you gotta go. Like,
That's why we got a platform like this because not everybody can even sit here and drink with us.
Yeah.
Because like at the end of this, you got to pay your tab, my nigga,
Right.
and you paying your tab has to be higher than the standard that someone like me sets. You understand what I'm saying? Because when I tell niggas all the time. If I'm in the building, I'm shaking shit.
Yeah,
Like you gotta understand,
right.
like some of us, like we was talking about outside, like some of us are born this
Yeah.
way, but not everybody likes it.
Yeah.
Now everybody likes the fact that Cash knows who he is, or Wordsmiff, or Light or Rico. So how do y'all deal with that? How do you deal with the burden of knowing who you are? Because that's a burden and a blessing. But every blessing come with a burden. So how do you carry, I know who I am, and a nigga that's not as good may not receive you or like you because of that?
I wouldn't say it's a burden, man. I've gotten to the point where that's like my peace and being myself. Cause it's like, if you're not for me, you're not for me. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you're not for me, that's not even none of my business. You get what I'm saying at that point. So I don't pay no mind. Like I'm just a cool laid back nigga. I stay in the crib. I eat my chips and shit.
You rap snaps?
I haven't had them yet, but they fire.
He stand by.
If you a chip nigga, I'm a chip.
You a chip nigga, bro? I'm a chip nigga,
chip
bro.
ass niggas.
We need a rap snack.
I had rap snacks for the first time this year, bro. My nigga.
We're not even gonna get in no more sales. Like
That's it. They gotta wait. We need to check.
I had Block
That's it, we
in
need
for the
for
first time a few years ago, man. My nigga.
My nigga.
What about you, Kaz? Like, how do you
Boy,
deal
let me
with?
back
Oh, my
up.
fault.
So it's like it's just I don't deal with it because I'm just so comfortable, like being myself. You know what I'm saying? It's just not nothing to deal with anymore. At a certain point, it was like wanting them to fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like I don't care. If you fuck with me, fuck with me.
Wait, stay there. What do you mean wanting them to fuck with you? Because I know what you mean. You know, as an artist, it's like, why y'all not supporting me? Where y'all at?
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Right.
you get 1,000 comments on one video and 10 on the next. So how did that make you feel as an artist? Like, yo, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
Like,
so it's like it's the insecurity of just being a human, and as an artist, it's 2 times that. Because now you want validation in real life, and now you want validation for your art, for your work. So it's like you want this person to say you dope. You know what I'm saying? You want this person to say your shit is ill, and then when you don't get that, now it's like, oh fuck, I'm not getting that. But at the end of the day, you put those expectations on the world. That wasn't them. You know what I'm saying? You expected too much out of somebody that you never even built that kind of connection with, or that genuine energy with. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why would you expect that? So at a certain point, you come into yourself and know, this is my tribe. These are the people I'm speaking to. If I'm not reaching them, then it's a problem.
how do you feel about the lack of support? How do you feel about going? How do you feel about the lack of support, and how do you feel an artist should go about handling the lack of support?
Well, with me, with lack of support, it was real big, and I have a whole project about it. It's called Raheem.
I heard that project. I like it.
I heard that project also. Fire. Get it now.
Appreciate
He
it.
Audio Mac King too. I pay attention to where they drive.
you need it, I'll
That
make
nigga
it
be
for you.
driving Audio Mac. Audio Mac is fire. I only got Audio Mac because of y'all 2 niggas. And Wong.
Yes, I was.
They better give you a check too.
This nigga be getting. We'll talk about that guy.
But Raheem, I'm in that. I'm talking about how my family doesn't support what I do. Come from a Caribbean background. My family is Guyanese, and the standpoints and all that are very strong. So in that project, I actually talk about that, and how I feel about that is really towards my family. And I think people should really just, at some point, you gotta ignore it, because it's gonna be an ongoing thing of the lack of support. So at some point, you gotta block it out and just continue doing what you're doing, because that's what I had to do, honestly. That's just me speaking from personal experience. But I do want to touch on when you said the burden thing, because it made me think about like artists that I know, and like even like people that's close to me that rap and shit like that. Like I feel their energy. Or some have even told me personally, like, yo, there's some things some artists told me, like, yo, I had to stop watching your story, cause like you was making moves and all that, and I was like, yo, I gotta get like cash, and he said, look, I had to stop watching your shit. You feel me? So like things like that, it touches me in a way that I know that I inspire people. So I try to flip it like that and just keep it going. You feel me?
Yeah. So on that. How did the 2 of you feel like? Okay, so let's say I'm a rapper, I'm coming up. I see the 2 of you, y'all grinding, y'all making moves, y'all putting out a tape, y'all your videos is coming, your streams going up. I say, you know what? I'm gonna detach myself from it. What are your views on that? How do you look at that? Is that bad? Is that negative? Or is that you know, I'm doing something for myself, I'm trying to get to, I gotta focus. How do you see that?
I see it as that because I remember a point when I was first starting, my brothers and shit used to tell me I sound like Cassidy when I was rapping, and a lot of times. So when I started to do projects, I started to realize, I started to emulate other artists that I was listening to. So at certain points, I had to block out artists that I was listening to get in tune with myself. You feel me? So I think it's actually needed at times to do that. You feel me?
Absolutely.
It's definitely, I gotta co-sign that. Like, you need to detach, like, especially if you feel like you want my spot. You know what I'm saying? You gotta it's warrior time, bro. I feel the same way. It's niggas like, you know what I'm saying, I've seen coming up, and it's like they might have surpassed me career wise. It's like I still feel like, yo, I blow them niggas out the water. I feel you should feel that way. You know what I'm saying? So detach and, you know, do your thing. Come for it. You supposed to. That's how this game works.
Nah, for real. I took a whole 4 years off Real shit.
3 for me.
Just to learn shit and learn myself.
Word.
You feel me?
That's
I
a
had
must.
to learn a lot, bro. Like business wise, mentally, spiritually, it's a
Word.
whole lot to life, bro. Besides just money.
Yeah.
Like, you feel what I'm saying? So like, I respect that you said that. Like, you feel what I'm saying? You really gotta take time to take a step back and really recognize yourself first.
Mhm.
Cause you can't help nobody else. You can't help somebody else
Yeah.
unless you help yourself first.
Fact.
I think the world always tells people like you gotta know who you are. But that really comes from knowing whose you are. From our background, you know, we come from a background of faith, and in our learnings, in our dealings, I've realized being objective with yourself, being honest with one of the hardest things I ever had to deal with in life was being 100 with myself.
Right.
Now, one of the biggest things for me was when I was really in the heart of depression was where is God? And I had a decision to make. Either I was going to find God or I was just going to walk away from what I believe.
Right.
Not saying that, you know, my faith wasn't rooted far enough.
Right.
But you are someone that was, if you don't mind me saying, you were a Christian and now you're a Muslim.
Right. Yeah.
What happened in your journey? Like, and take us through how you use music to even get to where you are.
So at the time, like he said, like he had to take time off, and I was like really finding myself. And the first thing I went back to was spirituality. So I went back to the church. When I went back to the church, it wasn't the same vibe I got before, right? So it had questions for me like, am I going to find God or am I going to walk away? What is it? And I knew I wasn't going to walk away. So I just so happened to be reading Malcolm X's autobiography. And in his last chapter, he talks about being in the Nation of Islam, then making this Hajj to Mecca and finding that there's brotherhood amongst this religion and et cetera, et cetera. So it did inspire me to then start to take a look into Islam and things of that nature. But this whole time, my family is already Muslim on my dad's side. So my dad's Muslim, my grandmother's Muslim, and they were also part of the Nation of Islam back in the day. So this was something completely outside of them at this point. You know what I mean? I knew, you know, I was going to probably make a transition. I wasn't sure if I was going to make this transition. So it was studying. Then I called my grandmother finally, like to get her input, what she thought. And she didn't nudge me. She didn't like push me. She just gave me some like solid advice. You know what I'm saying? And from there, it was like, all right, this is what I'm going to do. And it's then like the funny part is like my dad's Muslim, strong Muslim, devout, like super, and he was the last person I called. You know what I'm saying? Like my brother's Muslim, he converted before me, my little brother. So him and my dad have that relationship, and it's super dope. So he was the last person I called because I didn't want them to influence me to make this decision. So called him. I'm like, yo, Dad, I'm thinking about converting to Islam. Da 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 da. And he was like, what? Like he went off.
That's what I was thinking. I didn't want to cut it off.
Like when I tell you he
He's
went
right.
off, like,
He's right.
He said, yo, we're going on Sunday. Like,
Oh,
we're doing
man.
it Sunday. And that push right there was like, what I needed. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was, and one thing he always taught me, right? So my dad is so slick. He always gave me gems that I didn't pick up. But I lived with it, right? So he always taught me, if it comes easy, go with it. Right? If it comes easy, go with it. So it came easy in that moment that came to me, right? So I took my shahada, and I'm starting to learn, I'm starting to study, and I'm starting to see this is shit he's been implanting in me since a kid. And it's the same gems, the same, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, again, the transition was easy because it was already kind of the seed was planted. You know what I'm saying? So it was just coming into that and blossoming as a Muslim. So even in converting after Muslim, I still had issues. You know what I'm saying? Like being myself within this new religion now. Who am I within this religion as a Muslim? You know what I'm saying? So that was the hard part as well, trying to find myself and balance that. Like really, who am I now?
Yeah.
What am I? You know what I mean? How do I move forward at this? So I started to question a lot of the different things, and you know, I started. Then you know, it's about finding you. You know what I mean? Because a religion can't necessarily tell you who and what you are and what you should believe.
Say that one more time because I couldn't hear you.
I said a religion can't necessarily tell you who you are and what to believe. So at that point, I am Muslim, right? But I'm more so have to find who I am before I let this tell me what I am, right? I had that in my spirit spoke so loudly that that's what I did. So I started doing therapy, etc., etc., etc.
Started doing therapy.
Yeah, therapy, etc., etc. So coming back to it, it was like, I can balance this with this because now I know who I am and why I'm practicing and how to practice moving forward.
Yeah.
So that's what got me back to writing. It's like, alright, I know who I am and what I am now with this religion. I'm not me, I'm still me, but with this, it's a plus, it's not me. You know what I'm saying? And the things that you learn in a book may not be things that you can apply to your life because, let's say, what was life before a Bible or Quran existed? There was like millions of years before that, you know what I'm saying? So then we have to start to look back then, you know what I'm saying? So I started to do that research and how it played into my religion and things of that nature, and how they played into also be grown as a black conscious man. It's different, you know what I'm saying? So now I gotta make this make sense. So it was finding all of those pieces and putting it together, and then being here today is just a blessing, you know what I'm saying? To be so comfortable within myself and in my heart.
Now, let me ask, like, do you feel the same as you were from the start to end? We're not at the end yet, but you feel me? From where you at right now to back then, how much of a difference do you feel? Like, do you feel like
Bro,
it's like a weight off, burden off?
I feel like it's so light.
Yeah, you feel
It's
lighter.
It's light. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like there's nothing I'm holding on to anymore. I had so many things that I wanted to keep close to the chest that you can't move. You know what I'm saying? At some point you can't move. Like, things are gonna start falling out, and then when it falls, you're panicking. Your mind is going crazy. I gotta pick this back up. I need this. I need this. This is a piece of me. But those are certain things you just gotta let fall.
The toxic shit.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and there's certain things I just had to let fall. So it was just so light. You know what I'm saying? So again, I live by that gym my pops and grandma. Now I've realized implanted in me is just if it comes easy, go with it. There's nothing what's for you will be for you. You know what I'm saying? What's not will not. That's it.
Absolutely. I love that.
It's one of the hardest lessons to learn as a human.
Yes.
Especially when you want what's not for you. Like, I want that shit.
Yeah,
like,
but you can't got it. It's like, nah.
Yeah, like,
or not now. Or that delay, you know what I mean? That delay, which is not denial, but it's just delayed. Like, that shit, I've come to learn, like, that's the valley.
Right.
There's a valley and there's a mountain, and everybody, no matter who they are, go through a valley and a mountain. Like R.I.P. to Kobe and all of the 8 passages that passed away. Like, literally, you can do everything right and still die.
Right.
You can do everything right and still be out of here. It don't matter. It's really about you being so comfortable in you that you can live your life to the fullest. You feel what I'm saying? Now that leads me to ask, like, Cash, and all the rest of the artists here, excuse me, is spirituality an important part in your brand? And if so, why?
So it definitely does apply. I put it in the music, you feel me? I feel like I've been through a lot of different, not phases, but I've seen a lot of different things as far as spirituality. And I feel like the world evolves, and I feel like different things can happen. So I say that to say, I talk to people that feel like maybe like this new age millennial, like spirituality and energy, numerology, all of that shit. Like it negates something like believing in Jesus. Like I'll talk to somebody. But for me personally, I believe in all of that, all of that stuff, and I believe in Jesus because my family is Seventh-day Adventist, and that was even tough for me. You feel me? Because it was like a lot of that stuff I didn't agree with and I didn't believe, but I did also take some things from it. You feel me? So even within the spirituality things, there's some things that I mean in the like this Virgo and all that.
Yeah.
You feel me? The astrology and all that shit.
Compatibility shit.
All that. It's a lot of that I don't agree with.
But she on the old wave. Like, continue.
It's a lot of it I don't agree with, but there's a lot of it that I do agree with. So I be grasping things from different places. I even be trying to look into the Muslim shit. I mean, put it in that.
No.
But
I fully understand.
But pardon me.
Pardon me. We got it though, cause I done said to
I understand. Don't worry.
But we got people watching. You feel me? Gotta clean it up.
Perspective on the other end.
Word. But I'm saying these days I'm grabbing things from everywhere. You feel me? And I feel like I want to study a lot of different cultures and things like that. So that's where I'm at with it, and I do put it into my music, and it's there and it's within me. You feel me? So I don't go crazy with it, but it's definitely there.
I think I'm big on like mostly with the faith, you know, like as far as the spirituality, like just like I know that just a little bit of faith, I mean, that can change the world, you know. Like,
Absolutely.
Word.
rest in peace, Kobe. Like his like that one man changed the world just because he believed, because he had that faith in himself. He was willing to bet on himself. I mean, not worried about anything else. I mean, so I think just as far as that, like you gotta know who you are.
That's
I mean,
right.
and, like
That's simple
like,
as that.
like we've definitely learned like you fail to define yourself, you allow somebody else to define you.
Yes.
Every
I
time.
mean,
Yes.
so-
And they gonna judge you by their definition.
Yeah.
Nah, for real.
Every
So,
time.
I think
Sometimes they got this, they not smart enough to conceive who you are. Like,
Yeah.
As simple as that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I think as an artist, you got to be faithful to your art.
Yeah.
You feel me? And that's
Yes,
the only way
I
that
love
you're going
that.
to be able to push forward.
I love that.
I love the fact that y'all are able to come here and be honest, be transparent about, you know, your upbringing and your beliefs and everything. Now let's talk about now. Let's talk about is there ever been a time where you worked with an artist that you necessarily didn't come up with, but y'all sharpened each other in a way where I got you?
Definitely. Bro,
100%.
hell yeah, like if you go back, like just check my track record, I always look for the dopest. I always wanted to go toe to toe with the dopest. So if you look at the New York Renaissance shows, from the Flat to the Social Butterfly, it was some of the best niggas in the cities on those bills every time.
Shout out to the Social Butterfly.
Every time, you get what I'm saying? So like the best had to go against the best.
Yeah.
The qualities had to see the fills. The me's had to see the Trey Pizzies on stage. So this to me, like maybe they didn't look at it the same, but I looked at it like the breeding ground for some of the greatest to come in the city. And I'm not even gonna say unfortunately things that go. What we built was so beautiful for the city that, you know, you have like the Bobbies and the Rowdies, and I'm not saying we built them, but there's energy. You get what I'm saying? And then there's synergy that we all work together and be part of this ecosystem. So we needed the underground for them to pop on this mainstream level to then take this to a whole different level to where we're at now, to where the drill scene is so crazy. And I'm not saying that we did that. I'm saying we was a part of that ecosystem.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We helped build that shit. And I just want to shout out the qualities, the Frank Grahams, the Phil Walkers, the Trey Pizzies, the Manolo Roses. We all bumped heads. Young Mama,
100%.
Fresh,
All in the same
we
clubs.
all,
Yeah.
Chris Casanova,
All of that.
we
Word up.
all been Davies.
Yes.
I'm not gonna hold you,
Yes.
Davies.
Yeah.
I've been toe to toe with some of the greatest niggas in the city. You get what I'm saying? Like
On
you
the same
too.
Yeah.
on the
You
same
too.
bill.
And it
I'm
makes
talking
it
about on
everybody.
big stages,
Yeah.
It
like
makes
Hot
it all
97
niggas.
stages. Like we had
Yeah.
to see the greatest with the greatest
Yeah.
to be who we are and sit here and have these conversations.
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying?
yeah.
So it's dope that we can sit here and have these conversations because like what we built in the city was so crazy and all the shit that happened with the laws and the clubs shutting down and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We wasn't able to take it a little bit further, but everybody's here. I feel like it's at a legendary status. When you look at the history of New York, you know what I'm saying? You gotta talk about the Cats and Notchers and the Louders and what they did.
Bro, you gotta mention certain
You gotta
names.
mention some.
You have to.
Because if
Especially
you
if you
don't,
were outside.
you get what I'm saying? Like if you
Real
don't,
shit, you have to.
That be
have
one
to.
of my issues though. Like one of my things is like being humble as an artist.
Right.
Humbly speaking, one of my main thing is stop leaving me out the conversation.
right.
Like I've worked.
Nigga, we did
Y'all
this
nigga
shit.
Alright.
put my name
But
in that
past,
combo.
see,
did
so,
this
see,
shit,
but
right?
past that, right? So you gotta take it. You gotta take the ego out of that, right?
Mhm.
So let's say they don't acknowledge you as an artist within your city, right? So we spoke about family. Let's say you go, not even you. I'm gonna say me. I put that on me. Let's say I go before my dad, or I go before my mom, or I go before my brothers and sisters. They got a whole catalog of things to learn about me on a whole different level.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's say they have kids, and I'm not there to teach their kids. They got a whole catalog to go back and listen to
Yeah.
of who their uncle was, or who their great grandfather was,
Yeah.
or whatever the case may be, or who their great uncle was. They got a catalog of somebody in their family who tried to do something great. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And if I don't ever make it to be great, here's the blueprint.
That's
But
important.
hold on. But being content with that. is the key. Not everybody is there.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, not everybody is at a place where they feel like, oh, I understand I may not have a fabulous career. I may not have the Drake career, but this is mine. Right now, just in this season. Because we don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. We only speaking on thus far. You feel what I'm saying? But for thus far, are you okay with your family, your legacy, thus far as an artist? Are y'all okay with that?
That's the final stage, being able to accept that. I mean, acceptance.
Yes.
That's a fact.
And that leads into what we was talking about before, when you step back just to figure yourself out. That's you figuring yourself out.
Yeah.
That's the damn near the final thing. Like, are you accepting who you are, bro? You know what I'm saying? And what your path or rites of passage is.
That's a fact. Because like, even like, as we sitting in this room, we just doing an interview. But this is gonna go out to the world. It's gonna stay there. You get what I'm saying? But this is gonna be part of the piece of everybody's here journal and story.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, something we said here will put a piece together for somebody else's story in our family somewhere. You get what I'm saying? So that's why, like, when we come on these platforms, we gotta have these kind of conversations that's open and honest, because we gotta leave the breadcrumbs for the people that follow. Whether it be artists, whether it be little brother, whether it be little cousin, whether it be nephew, great uncle, we don't know when all of this shit will go away. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta understand that this shit is bigger than us. Kobe just passed, but we all gotta move forward, right? Well, look what Kobe did with the world, but we all had to go to work the next day.
The whole world gotta still move.
That shit was on
Niggas had to play. Niggas in the NBA had to play
that
night.
Crying.
So this shit is bigger than us, even in death. So what are we gonna leave behind for motherfuckers to study?
That's the core meaning of what everything. That's the core meaning of his passing and Nip's passing.
Right.
What are we leaving behind? What are we doing
legacy
to leave an imprint or a stamp on our legacy, on our life? Real shit.
I see you guys as the top tier for where we are. You feel what I'm saying? When I speak of inspirations, when I speak of marketing, when I speak of rollout, when I speak of social media presence, literally y'all two. Like, and even more so you, because you got Twitter. He got Twitter on smash. This nigga is the man on Twitter. Like, he's the man on. You could tweet him, you might not get a response. Because the nigga got too many followers. But specifically, because I use Instagram, I see how you move on Instagram. I see your rollouts. I see how you rolled out Raheem. Like, I watched how you did that shit, bro. I watched when you posted the cover. I watched when you posted the tracklet, bro. Like, I really go hard.
That whole act, everything.
Bro, I go hard, bro. Like, and I never said this shit to you. And we talk. Like, you text me. Like. And we talk, and I never said this to him, but I pay attention to the fact that this is not something that you're trying to do. Matter of fact, before we even wrap up, can you just let the people know what you do outside of music that leaves a stain on your legacy? What is something that you do outside of music that leaves a stain on your legacy?
So, about maybe like 3 years ago, I started a program called Business Behind Music. And it started by me meeting my guy Joshua Walker. You feel me?
AMG?
Yes.
This nigga is. Shout out to my brother.
Shout out to Joshua Walker, man. Amazing.
This nigga drove us to the Hot 97 show. Like,
that's crazy.
That's my guy.
My guy Joshua. I met him, and he was bringing me out to some schools to talk to the kids and whatever.
He pays too.
So he'll bring me out, and through that, I started to find a passion through it. I already knew I was good with kids, and I knew I wanted to always pass something down. But within that, I kind of found my purpose through working with Joshua. So I started a program called Business Behind Music. And in Business Behind Music, I basically show not only the youth, but anybody willing to learn something or see a different perspective, that there's money to be made in music without needing to have talent. You feel me? So you could be in the offices and work for music and work with marketing and things like that nature. And not only that, but coming from the bottom when you're in school and all that, and how to start your business as an entrepreneur. Or even if you do want to be an artist, I have courses in that where I'm showing you, let's say how alliteration ties into business, so like Circuit City and things like that, and then putting that into rap, you feel me, showing the correlation between all of that, like I'm tying things like that together, the business and the poetry, you mean your verbiage and all that, bringing that together. So that's within my program, and after creating my program, I got into the libraries, you feel me, and then being in the library, I'm like, yo, I need some consistency within this. So I actually got into the after school program, and I started as like a group leader. A year later, I was the assistant director. Now I'm the director of the program. You feel me? So, appreciate that. So right now I'm the director of the after school program, and I have my business behind music joint. But the real goal is to have my own after school facility where I'm teaching untraditional courses. Of course, not me personally, but having untraditional courses throughout an after school program or even a school. You feel me? And have it be like a franchise where it could be all about, so we could spread this thing.
Absolutely.
So that's where I'm at with it.
That's what's up.
What about you? What are you doing outside of music that's leaving a legacy?
So me, man, like I said, my path led me to like really studying like who I am as a black man and what I went through and where am I to go from here? You know what I'm saying? And we like to say we gangsters and we hood and thugs and shit like that, but what are we using it for, right? So for me, it's kind of like taking that path and using it for good. So, you know, I wanted to get back, you know, first I wanted to teach the adults, and you know, so I started organizing, and I built the Spread Love organization, which is a Pan-African organization built to cater to inner city youth and adults to make sure everybody has a meal, you know, at least once a week.
I like that.
Yeah, shout out
So
to now let's type it up for that.
That's a move right
So
there.
that's the goal. So we wanted to start with once a week and eventually expand to every day. So right now that's under construction. Also shout out to the Black Lobby, which is also another Pan-African organization in which we organize different, let's say curriculums, African-based curriculums to different schools and teach them at after schools and different programs of that nature. And right now I'm also working with my man Sinatra in the after school program. And you know, my goal is my passion has always been in sports. I played basketball most of my life and I made music most of my life. So it's like taking those, seeing what I can do and what I can be an asset and things I can do for the community that will transcend who I am and what I am. And I saw the youth as that more so than adults. Because I see, like, you know, we blame a lot on our youth, but we don't take a lot of accountability on ourselves as adults. So knowing who I am and what I am, and looking in the mirror and say, all right, you're a cool dude, you look young, you still hip. You know what I'm saying? You still know what's going on in the street. You still have that connection. So when you go back into the schools, you're gonna have a respect level that other teachers don't have.
Yes.
So it's bringing that experience into the schools and trying to, you know, find those kids that were sort of like me and give them the gems that I didn't have. Because, you know, I would say that I was a gem in the rough that didn't have that polish and I needed. So if you have somebody like me that can be able to spot that, we can start saving a lot more kids like me early on. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm doing right now.
I think that's most important because, like, in life you gotta be for somebody else who you needed for
Right.
you.
Ooh,
I mean, like you really gotta be that person that you needed for
Right.
someone else. And like with the youth, like they're our future. I mean, the youth is the people of tomorrow.
Right.
I mean, so if we can affect them at a early age, we can change the future literally.
That's a fact.
First of all, I gotta say thank you, Wordsmiff. Thank you,
Shout out to
Sinatra.
Wordsmiff.
Yo,
Shout out
y'all
salute,
look,
man.
y'all are phenomenal artists. Y'all are phenomenal artists, and y'all definitely got paid for these drinks. I really appreciate y'all for coming here. It's a phenomenal time. I want to leave something for our young followers, our young supporters. I'll start. I would just say, like, I'm gonna say this every week, guys. You just gotta deliver. Like, and when I say deliver, is literally you gotta bet on you.
I'm gonna say just accept and be comfortable with yourself. You know, I think that's very important to be great. You know, just being comfortable with who you are and just being faithful to your sound. You know, I think that's what's really necessary.
I love it.
To all the people out there that have like a dream, I want to say early on, it's like you get stuck on your dream and you get stuck on like this one thing a lot of times. I was there, and to the point where you only see this one thing and you kind of block out reality in a way. You feel me? And some people have they can get that early where they can flip their dream and make it into revenue early on. But if you're not that person that can do it, I want to just tell the people out there, bring your dreams together with your reality, just based off of what I've been through. You feel me? I found another passion, which is the youth and the future, you feel me? And I found a way to make that rub off on my music, and my music rub off of that, you feel me? So like, I just want to say, if you having a rough time turning your dream into revenue, bring your dream with the reality and combine the two, and find your passion in something else and bring it together with your dream.
Dream, reality, revenue. Amazing.
Let me see. What I want to say is, maintain your focus. Don't let your setbacks delay your get backs. Understand? You may be going through some things, but don't let that set you off. Remember your goal and remember what you're aiming for, and just keep pushing.
I like that. You know me, I always say vibe high, but for this episode, I'm gonna say make sure you step back and recollect and find yourself first before you do anything, bro. Find you first, and then everything will just happen. It's gonna happen, regardless.
That's a fact. Piggybacking off that, that's what I was going to say.
Take us home, bro.
But I was going to say, after you do that, then you learn that it's bigger than you. So something like knowledge, when you learn something, then you start to learn that the more you learn, you don't know shit. So when you start to learn that, you know, who you are and what you are, you tend to learn that it's bigger than you. So on this music shit and whatever you have a passion in, it's bigger than you. So whether you are the one that's the star or not, you may be the one that may be the catalyst for the star. You may be the one that opens the star, opens the door for the star, inspires the star. You have to be okay with your place in this ecosystem and your purpose, because it's all energy and it all flows, and it's always gonna flow. So maintain your flow, my nigga.
Definitely, I love that.
Yeah, I really appreciate you guys for coming out, man. And once again, we're at Breeze Race Lounge. We're sponsored by Vakila. Make sure you pick this up in your neighborhood liquor store.
Get that.
And 100 Reserve as well.
Best.
Fellas, we really appreciate you guys for coming out. Y'all niggas look really excited to get to the crib, but y'all niggas gotta pay your tab. You gotta pay your tab. So you gotta either leave cash on the bar, or you can leave bars on the bar. What y'all choose?
I don't got no change in the Reggie. They got.
I don't got no
change
money.
in the Reggie.
No change in the
We
Reggie.
leave